Arne, first of all, how's Alisson? Is he ready to return? Where is he in your recovery?
We think he is. He trained yesterday a part of our session with the group, so we expect him to do the whole session today. So we think he's available, but of course we have to train today. And of course we're really happy with Alisson being back, but I want to emphasize on the fact that Queeve did really well in the 2 games he was on goal for us. So another example of me having 2 and I think even 3 good options in certain position in this in goal.
Whereas in your forward line, you got 6 options. Just thinking, Jota scored 2 goals against West Ham. Salah's got 4 goals in his 7 games so far. Gakpo's off the mark with 2 against West Ham. Nunez started back-to-back games and scored against Bournemouth, and Luis Diaz 5 goals in 6 appearances so far. Add to that, you've been able to give Chiesa minutes. So talk us through how you look at, or how would you describe the decisions you've got to make when selecting your starting forward line?
For me, it says 2 things. It says, one, that these players have a lot of quality. And second of all, it says that the team is always creating chances for the players that we are selecting for that game. Because if we play Cody or if we play Lucio, the team is just creating chances for these individuals. And because they have so much quality, they can make this, promote this to assists or goals. So, yeah, that's what it says to me.
Also, it's just, I need to follow up on that just because it's showing that they're sharp as well, whether they've been out of the side, they're coming in and producing. How are you able to maintain that sharpness when they're not necessarily getting, the maximum amount of minutes?
Yeah, that's the positive thing about playing so many games, that these players will always play a lot of games. And I think they understand that they can't play every game unless it's absolutely necessary to keep them fit and sharp and to keep them ready to perform like they do. So as long as they accept the situation as it is, and that's what they're doing at the moment, because they have good numbers, and I see them smile a lot as well, then it's a very positive thing for us, and that's also one of my things on my job. I have to keep them alert and happy in the position they are in.
For me, I think I know the answer to this as well, but with regards to contract situations, obviously there's further talk of Trent being offered a new contract, continues to be linked with Real Madrid. How disappointed would you be if you only got to work with Trent and or Virgil or Mo for just 1 year? Because I'm guessing you're not going to bring us up to date on the contract situation.
No, and you are just trying to find another way of asking me. I'm very happy that these 3 players are in my team at the moment, and there are a lot of games to be played in this season, and especially also in the upcoming week and weeks. So I'm really happy that I can select them, and let's see what the future brings.
Continuing on with that theme of the depth of the squad, Curtis Jones obviously impressing in midweek as well, particularly after the change of position, when it's so necessary in this busy period that you've already spoken about. How impressed are you with this inherited squad's willingness to learn, adapt on the job, on the go?
I think I've said it on many occasions already that I'm really happy with the squad I inherited, not only because of their quality, but maybe even more about the culture that Jurgen left behind. So all these players are team players, so they accept their role even if they are not playing. And they always want to work hard for the team first. And it's been a privilege to inherit a squad like I inherited from Jurgen.
Wolves, obviously the opposition, struggling to get off the mark this season, just 1 point from their 5 games. What do you expect from them this weekend?
I don't think it represents the way they played, and they had a very tough fixture list in the first 5 games. I think they played Arsenal away, Newcastle away, Villa away, Chelsea at home. So yeah, that's a more difficult schedule than we had, for example. So you always have to take this into account. And of course, I had to watch a few games of them because we play them tomorrow, and I can see that even the games were very tight and they deserved more than they got a few times. So I think they will be fine during the season. Hopefully not tomorrow, but they will be fine in the end of the season.
Right.
Hi there, Arne. More encouraging signs this week with the victories against Bournemouth and West Ham. But in both games, you gave up quite a lot of chances through the opposition. How much of a concern is that? Because excellent goalkeeping from Quibin Keller in both games, but you can't always guarantee that goalkeeping excellence, even despite the fact you've got quality in that position.
Yeah. Now, the last thing you say is very important for us in the last two games, that we have a lot of quality in that position. On the other hand, we create a lot of chances as well. But in an ideal world, we don't concede as much as we did in the last two games. But if there's one big difference for me between my former club and the competition I worked in and this competition, is that every team has so many quality players in their squad and in their team that they're always able to create chances as well. So you also have to give credit to the teams we face and the quality they are having. But we need to do better in that aspect if we want to keep clean sheets more and more often. So we keep emphasizing on that. One of the reasons why the other team doesn't score that easy, it's also because we have a good goalkeeper. But if you every time count the bodies that are inside our 18-yard box the moment the other team gets a chance, that's also a real positive thing, and it makes it more difficult for the other team to score as well.
Well, how do you address the question of doing better defensively? Because there's clearly a risk and reward element to the way that you play. Is it tinkering with what the players do individually and so therefore collectively?
No, it's mostly about working on it collectively. But in our last game, I think a few chances also came from set pieces. The goal they scored also came from a set piece, and their second big chance in the game was also a set piece. Then we lost one time the ball so easy where Summerfield could go on a 1v1. So, but as always, it's always about the collective idea. That is what we have to improve. And then the individual quality that we have helps, of course, to become better as a team as well.
Thank you, Bob.
Arne, I was interested to read in your programme notes midweek that you kind of challenging the players to show you how they react to certain situations. Interested to know maybe if there's anything particular that you've learned in the last week or so that maybe you weren't aware of before, or anything that stood out.
I've said it earlier, I learn day by day every time more about the players because, of course, you know their quality, you know what they can do on the training ground, but we haven't faced many setbacks yet, although the Forest game was a setback for us. So you always want to learn how do individual players and we as a team react on setbacks. How do we react if we play a fantastic game with a great score? How do we react 3 days later? So you have to learn day by day, and that's what I'm doing. And then you try to adjust wherever you can to trigger them to get the best out of themselves, because it's all about offense, defense, and all these things we try to work on, but it's also every time you try to find a trigger for them to be on top of their game every single time they step out on the pitch.
Top.
I know you've spoken generally about the depth of the forward line. Can I just ask you about Luis Diaz? 5 goals this season already, and I think that's probably an area that's improved for him personally since last season, where he was maybe getting in the positions but not getting the goals. What's changed with him, do you think?
Oh, that's difficult for me to judge because I wasn't here, of course, last season. It's still a small sample size where we are talking about, and I said before also when it comes to us winning quite a lot of games that till now we've faced almost all the team we faced are on the bottom league of the table, is the way you say it, where of course we expect United to be on top of the table in the end of the, maybe not on top, but in the top of the table in the end of the season. So there's still a lot for us to prove. Maybe the fixture list helped us by this amount of goals the forward scored, and let's see if we can keep scoring so many goals if the fixture list is getting harder and harder, starting tomorrow in a difficult away game against Wolves.
Have you done anything specific with him in terms of improving his output?
No, I don't think so. Not particularly with him. Yeah, we train on a daily basis, trying to get them as most as we can in certain situations, and then help them in the best possible way where to position themselves and how to what to do in certain situations. But it's mainly also in this last third of the pitch, the quality of the player and the finishing he has, and I think he always had this. And I wasn't even that aware of the fact that how many goals did he score last season? 8. Okay. For me, he was someone who could score a goal, and 8 is for his quality, not of his standards, I would say. But did he play a lot? Did he play every game? Yeah. Okay. So then I think he just comes back to his normal situation. Maybe he was a bit unlucky last season, but a player of his quality will always score a lot of goals in every season.
Well,
Arne, one of the hallmarks of Wolves' season so far is they've been starting very quickly in games. I think they've been ahead at half-time in both of their last 2 games, even though they went on to lose those. And the same happened when Liverpool went there last season. And then if you look at Liverpool's last few games, you obviously had the goal away in Milan, but there was a couple of early moments against Bournemouth and against West Ham where maybe concentration wasn't at its highest. What do you put that down to, and is this something you've stressed ahead of this challenge against Wolves?
If you look at us, our games, I think it's always in a game, the first 15 to 20 minutes, both teams have a lot of energy and they're all very hard and try to get maximum energy in the start. And then after 10, 15, 20 minutes, the game mostly settles down. And then the team that, in my opinion, plays the best football gets the ball a lot and starts to play. But the first 15 to 20 are always 2 teams that are doing this. When it comes to Wolves, I'm not surprised that they go up because they play really good football, and I think they've been really unlucky not getting the results they might have deserved. And even last season, because that game where Liverpool won, they were also 1-0 up, and I think it took to the 85th minute where Robbo scored a goal, which he doesn't do a lot. But so that was also a tough game for us. So I think the players who played that game, and almost all of them are still in the team, know how tough it is to play over there. So we need to be ready from in the start, but that you need to be in every game because, like I said in the beginning, it's always 2 teams full of energy trying to come out in the best possible way.
any last ones?
Arne, how do you feel you came in at the start of the season after Jürgen? How do you feel, are you pleased with the progress of the team so far, where you are in the table? You know, did you expect to be this high up, especially with the fixture lists that came out? And, you know, can the players keep this going for the entire season?
I think it's been a positive start with a small disappointment of us losing at home against Nottingham Forest. I think every home game you lose is a disappointment, especially if it's not against the team that's competing for a top 4 position. Although you never know what Nottingham Forest is going to do this season, but that was definitely a disappointment. But overall, it's been a good start. Not a perfect one, because then we would have won. We should have won the game I was just referring to. But the style we play, the way we play, is still very close, I think, to what you guys were used to for 9 years, and which is quite normal because we almost have all the same players like Jürgen had, and keeping results going is a good thing. Again, I have to mention about that the fixture list has been good to us, although you never know, maybe in 17 or 18 games these teams that are now on the bottom side of the table maybe go up in the upcoming weeks or months. So it's been a good start, but not a perfect one.